Welcome back to Procrastination Garage. My name's Matt. This week we've got some snowmobiling stuff, and then if you remember a couple of videos back, I was using the log splitter, and I actually did a little project before I used the splitter, and I didn't have time to include that, so it's in this video. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Sit back, relax, watch, and when the video's over, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, and tell your friends. Some may ask, do we ever just snowmobile for fun? And that seemed like a legitimate question because lately we've been doing work parties or preparing for events and whatnot. And you know what? I'm getting ready to do another work-related thing tomorrow. But, that's just the way it is sometimes. And let's get real about this. I mean, even if we're going out there to work or do an event or something, it's still a good time. It really depends on who you're with. And we do get to snowmobile out there, and sometimes we'll get to ride in conjunction with. And that's the plan for tomorrow. What we're going to do is two of us are going to be hauling in some firewood to one of the warming huts that didn't get stocked before the snow fell. And they're planning on taking a big load of firewood in here in a couple weeks, but in the meantime they'd like to get a little wood in there if anybody needs a fire. So what I need to do is I need to get the trailer cleaned out a little bit, gas and oil the machine, and I think I'm going to take the lid off my trailer because I plan on stacking the firewood higher than the top of the trailer. And if you just open the top, then it'll bang against the side, and I don't really want to do that. So let's get to it. I guess I'll start with removing the lid. We're even going to do it the right way. I've got my tool bag out of the truck, and we're actually going to use a socket and ratchet. All right, now the question is, why did that upper one not loosen up? Does that mean the nut on the inside is spinning? That's exactly what it means. My bad. I thought I had a little nut cert for top and bottom, but in fact I actually have an actual nut on the top. And the reason is because it's going through this piece of metal right there, and the other is just going into plywood. So not a big deal, but it does mean I need a wrench. Or maybe I'll cheat and just get a pair of, get a crescent wrench. The lid is off. I need to run the bolts back in to hold that metal piece there, because right now the only thing holding in place is like a wish and a prayer. It could fall at any moment. The angle iron, this piece is bolted back in, so that's good. This is not convenient. The long-term plan, and I say long-term, we're going to fix this next week when I get back from a trip I'm doing this weekend. I'm going to pull these pins on these hinges here, and I'm going to make a removable pin that'll go in all three of them. And that way I can just pull the pin and I won't have to mess with the actual hinge pieces. So hold me to it. We're going to do that next week. This is residue left over from last weekend in the chili feed. It needs to come out because it needs to be empty so we can load it all the way up with wood. You can see there's a strap down there. There's a strap down there. And I think I got a couple other straps somewhere. We're going to take those with us tomorrow so to help strap the wood down. They want you to believe that size doesn't matter, but it does. And my friend, he's got a bigger one. But, we use what we got. So tomorrow, this is what I'll be taking up. And then the one he's got is a bit bigger than this. And so we'll be able to haul this much wood. We're just making one trip. Should be good enough. I guess we'll know tomorrow. So the trailer's all ready to go. Now we need to put some gas and oil in both snowmobiles to have them ready. This one's not getting ridden, but mine is. I'm also taking up a few dozen Snowflyer newspaper. What is a Snowflyer, you ask? This is a Snowflyer. It's the official publication of the Washington State Snowmobile Association, of which I edit every month. She's gassed up, but you can see the oil level's getting kind of low. It'd be good for at least one more ride, but better fill it up now while I'm thinking about it. I just emptied my last jug of oil. And I'm not full. Luckily, Amazon recently delivered this. That's right, XPS oil, 3 gallons of it. That's enough to get me through the rest of this season and probably a good way into next season. And look, each one is wrapped in a condom. I guess that's a good thing. We don't want them leaking in the mail. Now she's full. Let's top off the red one next. My sled, gas and oil for tomorrow, check. And my daughter's sled, gas and oiled for whenever the next ride is. Check. And we've got the little tag along all set. and cleaned up inside the trailer, we're good to go. Now, let's just get the thing out of my wife's parking spot before she gets home, or I'll be in all kinds of trouble. It's Thursday morning. What a gorgeous day. Blue sky. Let's go snowmobiling and haul wood. Woohoo! What a gorgeous day. Check that out. We're headed to the Atanum Snow Park. Mount Rainier. Here's something that needs to be done. You see this foot down here, the front of this log splitter is heavy. And for moving around the shop, what I thought was I would mount it on this little snowmobile dolly I've got that's got 4 wheels on it. So what I'm thinking is it's not going to be a permanent mount, just 2 holes. I'm going to drill a hole front and back, and then same thing here, match holes there. And the idea is just to put a bolt through it with a pin or something, just so when it's in the shop, I can wheel it around without having to lift the entire weight of that thing. So let's figure this out. What we need to do is get it up off the ground so I can more easily drill the foot. I'd like to drill it from the bottom. Well, it doesn't really matter. I just need to get up off the ground. But I'm thinking, how about a jack stand underneath the tongue? Let's work on that. Not only is it supported on a jack stand, I've got the tongue jack pointing forward, which will make it easier to drill. Now, I looked at it. I could almost put this offset to clear there. The problem is that in travel mode, it's supposed to be swung to the back, and there's not enough clearance between the engine and the bottom of it to clear this. But what a guy could do, you could cut this off completely and probably just buy a trailer, you know, one of those wheels for the front of a trailer. Probably you can find one that would fit. But you know, those things really don't turn all that well. You know what? I'm gonna look and see if I have one. I found it after a lot of searching. It wasn't where I thought it was, but I did find it. But now we have a conundrum because what we know for sure is that the diameter of this will not fit on the outside, but the diameter will likely fit on the inside. But we don't know for sure because we don't know what wall thickness that is. And everything's welded. So once we cut it, we cut it. Because I don't have a welder hooked up, nor do I really have the skills to weld. But so that's the question. Do we just risk it and cut it? Because we basically need to cut it right about here, where my thumb is. Cut it right there, and then in theory this will go up on the inside. Now, if it's close, I can cut this, just cut a little small section out of it, and probably bend it together a little bit and force it up in there. I'm leaning towards cutting it. I'm thinking it's going to fit, and that would be the perfect solution. Because I've had this around for years and never used it. It came off, I think it came off a tent trailer we owned a long time ago. So what do you say? Shall we just cut it? Cut it. We'll just cut it and we'll go for it. We'll just hope for the best, right? Right. Let's do that. not really a good place to put this for cutting. Yeah, I guess we'll go with it like this. That battery's not fully charged. Or maybe it's no good. All right, what do you think? Is it going to fit? Yeah, it's going to be close. Not even close. It's kind of sloppy, but that'll work. What we need to do next, measure this here, figure out where the center is halfway, and then measure in that far on here, and we're going to drill a hole straight down all the way through, which eventually will also go through this. So we'll start with a small bit, a little bit of oil, and we'll work our way to bigger. All right, found a bolt. This is 1 3/4. So what is that? Let's see, 3/4, about 7/8. In 7/8. Drill a hole, and I made a mark here. Now let's do a little dimple so our drill bit doesn't move around. All right. Use a small bit, but not too small. A bit of oil. Of course, now with the oil, I can't find the hole. Drill bit's not quite long enough. All right, that's as far as we're going with that one. Bigger bit, a little more oil. All right, now let's open it all the way up. Not sure what size it is. It's bigger than 1/4 inch. Nine 30 seconds. We'll try that. That's probably not right. That could be. That is one dull bit. Yowza. I've got some really crappy bits. And it's not big enough. Alright, good. Let's take it to 5/16 then. A little more oil. Talk about a not sharp bit. All right, let's go find another 5/16 bit. Okay, let's try this 5/16. Thanks. Yeah, it's better. Not a lot better, but better. All right, that part's perfect. Now we just need to go through here. Just gonna try and mark it. All right, well. Probably will end up drilling the holes on that one bigger because that way it'll just be easier to get the bolt through it. Yeah, how do I hold this? Why don't I go put it in the vise? I'll be back. There's no way this fits. I oversized these holes, cheating, but I can see where this hole goes in on, I can see where this hole goes in on this side, and where it comes out on that side is quite a bit lower. So there's no way they're going to line up at all. they're not even. They're like on different planets or something. All right, not the end of the world. I'm going to take my Dremel bit and grind this one out. Not sure how well it focuses. One of the best things I ever bought was this little carbide Dremel bit. That thing will cut through anything. I'm going to go test fit it and I'll let you know. I won't go into all the gory details of what it took of grinding, but you can see how I've got that hole ovaled out and it just barely fits in there. But you know what? We don't really care other than pride and craftsmanship, which we're just not going to worry about. So we need to get a lock washer and a washer on there and get this job done. There, done deal. Got a bolt through it. Now we got to do is flip it around, set it down. There it is, just like that. Gonna need to oil that so it spins a little more freely, but certainly better than what we had before. And just to show you guys, here's the mess, and I'm gonna clean it up and I'll show you when I'm done. Everything's put away except for the jack stand, and you're just gonna have to trust me that I'm gonna put it away. I realized that I wanted to spray some lube up under there, and I want to spin that jack up around again to do it, because otherwise it won't really, the lubricant won't get up in there. So I'll do that now. As I was putting this week's video together, I realized that I'd never done a final on once the wheel was on and lubricated and everything and how well it works. So I came down to the shop to do that, and here you can see it certainly spins better than it did. So we're going to call that project a success, and we'll move on to something else. That's a wrap on this week's Procrastination Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, the #1 goal of Procrastination Garage is to get me down in the shop, out in the yard, up in the mountains, so I'm not just sitting around watching YouTube and TikTok videos all day. Down in the comments, tell me about the projects you're working on, or tell me about the stuff you're procrastinating about. And please hit the like button. I hope you subscribe. Tell all your friends. So until next week, we'll see you then.